There's no better way to see Eastern Oregon than to travel the Hells Canyon Scenic Byway. Its rugged wild scenery is unmatched and earns this section of Oregon Highway high praise as one of only 20 all-American roads in the nation. You can travel from river's edge to snow-capped peak through fertile fields and lush valleys, visit museums, galleries, and foundries along the way, camp, hike, fish, and even ride the Wild Snake River through North America's deepest canyon.
You say Hells Canyon to anybody, and immediately they're having thoughts of the Wild West, you know, and the way things were. And the Hells Canyon Scenic Byway, being an all-American road, is even more attractive as far as people wanting to do the tour. It's a beautiful drive.
That beautiful drive into Hells Canyon country begins at La Grande for lots of folks, some of whom saw it and decided to stay and make a living.
I love living here. I like the remoteness of the area. We're far enough from the big cities that we don't have to plan our lives around traffic. If we want to go visit one, we can.
Outside of Imbler, the byway carries you to the scenic fields of rural Eastern Oregon. It's the start of 218 miles of travel through a natural paradise and cultural treasure. A short drive past Elgin, near Minham State Park, you'll feel like you've arrived in a special place. Beyond Minham is where the Wallowa River flows alongside the highway as a near constant companion. From all reports, it's a great fly fishing river, offering rainbow trout nearly all year round and winter steelhead during the legal season. Cruising down the byway, the quaint community of Wallowa greets you with its Eastern Oregon charm. It's an inviting stop most any time of year. The byway opens up to Big Sky country again just outside of town and points the way to other stops worth visiting. Basically, it makes a big loop around the Wallowa Mountains, which around these parts are considered the Oregon Alps. You'll find out why it's the people who really help make the byway the great cultural treasure that it is. Ever have coffee in a crashed Volkswagen? Need that unique gift? Lostine is where you might find it. Now, out this way, you're just as likely to see local wildlife as you are to see local people. It's just that way. So don't be surprised to spot deer right along the roadway. There's plenty of animal life around Enterprise, too. After all, this is ag country, where people earn a living off the land. Enterprise is a cozy little community along the All-American Road, host to its annual Mule Days event. This is one way the community shows off its stock in trade. And you can drop in just about any time at the local pubs for some hometown grub and local brews. Lots of folks do, and come away with a whole new appreciation for life out here in cowboy country. Fair to say that Joseph is a hot spot on the byway for more than one reason. One draw is the bronze foundry business, which is a big part of the arts industry out this way. Got its start here in the 80s and hasn't slowed down since. Metalworking artists have been finding their way to Joseph for some time now, and it's gained a reputation for the creative arts. A lot of their handiwork is right there on Main Street in Joseph, kind of an open sign that you've arrived in art country. A premier event may be the Wallowa Valley Festival of Art Show, but Joseph is the year-round home to many artists, and winter or summer, it's a great place for eye-catching discovery. Out this way, you can find art all around, between the ranches, the harvest, and the people who found a way to keep the heritage of Eastern Oregon alive. It's in winter that you really get to know why the locals call their mountains the Alps of Oregon. The neon blue sky really sets off the snow-covered peaks here, and the beauty of the ranches that lie in their footsteps. Snow and ice have carved the peaks for ages here and sculpted a natural art that complements the works created by craftsmen in the cities below. And when the spring thaw comes, you can see how the cycle of freeze and thaw has whittled the rock faces of these majestic mountains. The water cascades in torrents from tall peaks like Sacagawea that climbs to nearly 10,000 feet above sea level, the highest peak in Oregon outside the Cascade Range. With its stunning vistas, the Hells Canyon overlook in the Wallowa-Whitman National Forest provides viewers with a miles-wide panorama of the canyon and the Seven Devils Mountains, and plays host to wildflowers like the Venus penstemon and more that carpet the land with color. Geologic history abounds, and interpretive signs tell the story. Now, this is what you can't see from the lookout, but it gives the All-American Road its name, Hells Canyon, carved by the waters of the Snake River, North America's deepest river gorge. And it's way more than just a visual wow. Now, about halfway back to civilization from the Snake River is halfway. Halfway hasn't changed a whole lot since it was settled in the 1860s, and that's what gives the town its character. During the summer, it's agriculture and tourism that drive the local economy. During the winter, it's snow, snow, snow. Lots of snowmobilers and cross-country skiers make their way here during the winter to take advantage of the pristine conditions in the southern section of the Wallowas. Many people cycle the byway. It's a great way to connect with the land and quicken your pulse.
This is the best day coming along this road in the Powder River. The rapids and seeing the cattle up grazing way up high on the mountains and watching the birds and the green grass against the cows, and it's just gorgeous.
Now, speaking of gorgeous, how about Richland? Tiny in area, the locals supersize their hospitality. At the southern portal near Baker City, you can drive close to the very first road in these parts, the Oregon Trail, where you can still see the original ruts made by the pioneers' wagons. Stop at the Oregon Trail Interpretive Center anytime, year-round, right where pioneers entered this land in the 1840s. And at the end of this all-American road, at the end of the day, a dinner at the Geyser Grand Hotel in Baker City can put the punctuation mark on your journey. The old hotel, built in 1889, is a national landmark and marks the southern terminus of the journey along the route of Oregon's Hells Canyon Scenic Byway.
In the state of Oregon, we have 26 scenic byways. 10 of those are nationally designated. And we are very fortunate to have 4 All-American roads, which are really the best of the best. And Hells Canyon Scenic Byway is one of those.
Just spent the last 2 weeks driving across our country, and I have to tell you that I haven't found a place that looks as beautiful as Hells Canyon Scenic Byway. This is just beautiful and every bit as captivating as anything we've seen across the country.
If you like friendly people, which we have a lot of here, open spaces and beautiful scenery, this is the place to come.
I like things a little less crowded, and you get that here.